All right, guys, I'm back. I'm excited to be here. Got some news to go over with you, some fairly big news. Um, Couple things, couple main things. Number one, we're going to go right to it, and this isn't going to take very long, but it's important. Uh, Project number 10, our next filming project. A lot of you guys are excited for it. Both Abby and Harley will return. We're also trying to add some new cast as well. Got a little surprise already in store for that one, but we're trying to add some new cast. So one thing that's happening is the budget is really going up with our projects. Okay, but it's not just budget as far as paying people. I'm renting a filming location, a set for the next project, a cabin style setting similar to this, although we're not going to have like a fire inside telling stories like this. um, but it's expensive to rent locations, very expensive. And so what we are doing is we're launching a crowdfunding campaign with the K through Indiegogo. Some of you are probably familiar with this, maybe not. A lot of independent filmmakers and stuff use this. A lot of other projects. It's like a GoFundMe for artists. It's like Kickstarter. It's all kind of the same thing. Flexible funding plan. So if we don't hit our goal, we still keep the funding to use it towards the project. Obviously, I always front the bill for these projects in the front. We sell the content. It just is very expensive to put all this together. You guys are great when it comes to buying the content. Speaking of Complete Exhaustion, available now. Obviously, everything else as well. There's no full version yet of Complete Exhaustion as far as paying one time for it. You have to buy it in the parts, but the full version is released. So Indiegogo campaign, the link is going to be in the comments. I'm going to have a pinned comment from myself up top. I'm not going to put it in the metadata like in the description because in a couple months that specific link will be dead and I don't really want to edit the metadata. It'd be easier to delete or edit a comment. We may continue the campaign, do a follow-up campaign. There's a $2,000 goal. Click on the link, check it out. Obviously, one thing we're doing is for the backers, for people who pledge to donate either $25 or $50 for the Indiegogo campaign, and these are set up normally as one-time donations, I think. I don't think they do recurring unless they give you that option. But $25 gets you 1 week of early access purchasing ability for the released parts. This doesn't doing the campaign, the backing does not buy you the parts when they're released, but it gets you early access. So $25 donation gets you 1 week of early access. $50 or more donation will get you 2 weeks of early access. So you donate $50 to the Indiegogo campaign. When part one is released this summer or the fall at some point, we're filming very early summer. So late June is our filming date. Yeah. So this is not going to be a complex project when it comes to the pictures and everything the Complete Exhaustion had. That was a lot of work. The animation, the voiceover stuff, that was a lot more than I had bit off. I bit off a lot more than I could chew. It was a lot of work. So this will be a lot easier project for me to edit and release. I would imagine that part one will probably come in September. I would imagine part one, based on the filming date and the editing that I think it will take. Yeah, that's that would be the plan. So please check out the Indiegogo link. Like I said, it's in the comment section, pinned comment. If you have any questions, obviously you can email me. This is not linked to Fangage and sales. Again, it will not be linked to the sale of the live action project, just early access perk through the people who back the campaign. Crowdfunding campaign with the K's. Would you expect anything less? No. So that's there. That's that. That's exciting, big news stuff. But we have more exciting, big news stuff, and this kind of transitions to what I've announced recently. I think the last time I did one of these videos, I touched on this as far as the plans for the KK moving forward for this channel. These last couple years, it's not been what I want. Even the couple years before that, not been what I want. I mean, things are moving so slow when it comes to new content. One piece of good news, 294 is out. It's done. It's members only right now at the time I'm filming this. Probably be members only for a little bit. Tavoy Asaya, I can't even say it. Learning to love the awesome 294 marathon in high quality footage for the first time ever. I would call it HD, but it's not officially 1080p. But really nice quality. You guys saw the thumbnails. It was a hell of a time making that. I mean, it was a year and a half ago when the original version got blocked. Was I working at the for the whole last year and a half? Was I working on it? No. Off and on. Obviously, there's been a lot of other things. Did some recaps, which were also a ton of work. It's just been a lot. It's been too difficult to do this stuff properly, to make these KK episodes like this. Now, one thing we did recently, which is new since the last time I did one of these updates, is I now have bought private video hosting on a different platform. Private hosting. This is big. This is very big. This changes the game. It's not expensive, you know. It's lower costing, but it's a big game changer for this. And I never got this idea before. I kind of just fell into it, and it's awesome. The private video hosting we're using, I can actually re-upload a new version of the video to replace the old one. So if there was a glitch or something, or I wanted to update something like our live action titles, which I've already done with Complete Exhaustion with the pictures. Yeah, if I want to update something, all I have to do is replace the old video. No new link, no new password, don't have to tell anybody about it. It just replaces the old one. And I could do that with KK episodes too. So the private video hosting is going to be big, but that's just a little side benefit why it's big. The real reason it's big is because we got to do something about this when it comes to producing content. It's too hard to make these full-length KK episodes on YouTube. It's just too difficult the way I've been doing it. Ridiculous amount of time to go into it. It's just, man, it's challenging. It's really tough. So in the last update video, I talked to you guys about possibly starting a new KK series called the Director's Cut. Not going to do that. Not starting any new series. I mean, we have our recaps, we have our original episodes. I'm not going to start a new series like that. What I had mentioned before was possibly having like the first 4 episodes of a cycle be really short, cut them down, not show as much, and then maybe the 5th one do an extended version and have that in its own, like do a small version but then an extended version and release them both, with the extended version being in a new series. We're not doing that because this was all before I got the private video hosting. So here's the new plan, and this is excellent. I love it. I'm very excited about getting to work on this. So from now on, moving forward with episode 301 and starting with recap 32. So before we get to that, obviously 294, the new version is out, members only right now. Recap 30 is done. I've not uploaded it yet, but I've kind of done the copyright check. It's finished. It was an easy edit, only took me a week or two. If that, you know, working on it off and on for a couple weeks. It was extremely easy to make. Recap 31 will be part 3 of the Alba Tribulation trilogy. Already shown a lot of footage from Into the Blue in the first 2 parts of that trilogy. So, and I'm very familiar with the content, the settings and everything. It's not going to be too difficult to make Recap 31 just because I've already shown so much from that source in the first 2 parts, and being familiar with it, it's going to be pretty easy. Those will all be standard, full length, released publicly the way we've been doing it. So 294, Recap 30, Yuli's Gold, Recap 31, Into the Blue. I'm going to get those out, get them done. Then that's when we're going to move into the new system. So how it's going to work. There's the full version of the KK like you guys have been used to seeing. That is no longer going to be what we put on YouTube. That is going to be the private video hosting, members only, for the full length version of a KK episode, showing all the footage. And this is exciting because the new platform we're going to be using for the private video hosting for the full length KK episodes, they don't have a Content ID scanner. They don't have anything like that. It is going to allow me to make the episode I want to make. like in every way. Anything I want to show, I don't have to do special edits and cutting to, kind of make things work. I don't have to throw a lot of flashbacks if I don't want to. I get to make it how I want to make it. I get to make the episode I want, how I want. And members will get to see that in its full form on our private hosting. For YouTube, for the KK episodes with 301 and Recap 32 moving forward, everything's going to be condensed. These videos have been too long. If you like watching the longer videos, that's cool, but I would assume only the more really devoted fans like the long videos, and the ones who are going to be channel members are going to want to see the long full versions. When it comes to YouTube, though, we need more condensed content. We have a couple KK episodes, 295 and 300, that are about an hour and a half long. That's way too much. That's way too long. Can't be doing that anymore. Even 294 is about 50 minutes long. That's a huge video. That's too long, especially how things have changed over the last several years when it comes to people watching short form content and all that. Yeah, we got to do something about that. So the KK episodes moving forward publicly, the YouTube versions, they're going to be like 15, 20 minutes long, I would say. They're going to be, just a regular standard video. And that's the size length video I like to watch, with a couple shows that I watch on YouTube that are similar in structure to this one. Not the same kind of content, but similar structure, with the way different things are highlighted and presented. Most videos are like 15, 20 minutes long, or at least, the better ones, the more enjoyable ones. So I want to get our viewing condensed. So, and that doesn't matter if it's members only or public, because it's going to be the same video. It's going to be the same video that starts as members only and then becomes public. So on YouTube, it's going to be condensed. It's going to be a shorter KK episode. This is going to help me really put content out fast. Now, members are going to be way ahead, because I can make the full-length versions for the private video hosting like that. Sometimes they may take a little while to, kind of tweak things the way I want, but you're talking a couple days, maybe a week. You're not talking about 6 months or a year or, whatever it takes to make some of these episodes now. So basically, the members are going to have these full-length episodes on the private video hosting that are way ahead. And then behind those, after those are released, then I'll trim them down, do what I need to do to make the shortened public version and release that. So that's kind of the way that's going to go. Yeah, that's what you're looking at when it comes to the KK episodes moving forward. This is exciting because, again, for the episodes, I get to make whatever I want. I get to make it how I want to make it. And I don't have to worry about claims and tweaking things and doing endless amounts of flashbacks and things like that. The public versions, Recap 30 was very easy to make. It's a shorter scene, no crazy editing in it. It was, it wasn't too tough. If they were all like that, I wouldn't really have to change things like this. But some of these scenes, it's just too hard. And I think you guys probably get this and are okay with it, I would think. Do you guys really like getting a new episode every several months at best? I don't think so. I don't think anyone likes the way things have gone when it comes to this. So if you're someone that's saying, oh, well, I don't want to get a channel membership to watch the KK episodes, it's not very expensive, number one. But number two, you're still going to get the public videos. They're just going to be a lot shorter. I have to do what I have to do. But, the low-costing channel membership gets you the full version like we've been doing. So once 294 is public, Recap 30 and Recap 31, once those have been released as scheduled, that's when things are going to transition. And I think it's going to be exciting because I'm actually going to get to make new videos and get fresh content out there. The only time this might not apply, where the video is condensed, where it's a lot shorter on YouTube than on the private video hosting, the only way that might happen is if the scene is not in the system. If it's an old scene, an obscure scene, an old TV series, certain TV shows aren't in the system, obscure movies, sometimes things are not in the system, like Flipper is not in the system. I have to take the gamble and take the risk that they won't ever put it in the system. That's what happened with 294. A year after the video was live, a legacy claim got hit because they finally uploaded that show. So it can happen. If that were to happen again, I would make a new version greatly condensed, to get it back out there. I would not go through and do what I did with 294 this time around. But I have to make those decisions, make those choices, and I think this is going to be exciting. We've been waiting on the KK Olympics for what, like a year and a half, is when I announced it, like a year and a half ago probably, uh, and maybe longer than that, maybe 2 years. We've had a 2 year long opening torch ceremony of Recap 27 with the German scene. Uh, yeah, so this needs to move forward, and this is the only way it's going to work. Oh yeah, I talked about this before as well. Changing the format, the layout of the program a little bit as well with the KK. There's not going to be any more TV swapping back and forth between the computer and the TV. Kind of made sense originally when I was doing it, but it's a little bit of a waste of time on my end. And I have some more fun ideas with the background on this, as far as how I record this using the background. I have some fun ideas with that. So I think you guys will like this display a little better. It's going to make things run a little smoother. And like I said, that's kind of the goal with the way we're changing the show up. So that's something to look forward to as well. So that's what I got for you guys right now. You're going to see me in 294, Recap 30, Recap 31. But check out the Indiegogo link in the comments for the crowdfunding campaign. I'll be sending emails out, making a community post about it. I'll be getting it out there so you guys know. Yeah, and that's what we got. The KK's coming back with a vengeance, and that's exciting. So thank you guys for the support. I will see you soon.